Why so many football fans supports Real Madrid over Barcelona? Because Barcelona was singing since many years La Masia, beautiful football, purity, but no, there are many hidden truths behind them. Barcelona were accused of paying 8.4 million to the former vice president of Spain's referees committee. Let that sink in. This is not a rivalry, this is not an opinion, this is football's biggest ethical question. Let's go back to 2009 Champions League semi-final, Chelsea vs Barcelona, Stamford Bridge. The night football died. For over a decade, we were told it was just a bad night. We were told referees make mistakes. We were told to get over it. But what if I told you that night wasn't an accident? What if beautiful game played by Pep Guardiola's Barcelona was built on a foundation of lies, bribes, and 8.4 million euro wire transfer? Today, we aren't just looking at history, we are looking at the evidence that has finally come to the light in 2026. We are answering the question millions of fans are asking: why is the world turning its back on Barcelona and flocking to Real Madrid? Because the biggest crime in football history isn't a conspiracy theory anymore, it is a receipt. For years, Barcelona hid behind the motto Més que un club, which means more than a club. But recent investigations have exposed what that actually meant. According to explosive reports updated this January 2026 by The Athletic, the total sum isn't a rounding error. It is 8.4 million euros. This money was paid directly to the company of Jose Maria Enriquez Nigeria. Who is he? Just the Vice President of Technical Committee of Referees, the man responsible for deciding which referees got the big games and which ones got international promotions. Barcelona claimed these were for technical reports. 8.4 million for reports! Let's be real, you don't pay the referee's boss 8 million euros to tell you how the tall grass is. You pay him for protection, you pay him to ensure that when the game is on the line, the whistle blows in your favor, and that brings us back to the crime scene that started it all. Let's go back to 2009, the Champions League semi-final, Chelsea vs Barcelona, the game that would decide the era. If you watch this game today, knowing about the Nigeria payments, it looks completely different. It doesn't look like incompetence, it looks like a job. A game that still haunts football fans. Chelsea players appealed for 4 penalties that were denied by the referee. Chelsea's manager exploded. Drogba looked into the camera and said those words that still echo today: "It is a disgrace." Barcelona went through, Chelsea went home, and the football world was told to move on. But fans didn't forget, they couldn't. Chelsea players were losing their minds, and for years, Barcelona fans laughed. They called it Ufalona as a joke. But with 8.4 million euros confirmed in payments to the referee vice president, is it still a joke? Or is it a receipt of 2009 Champions League trophy? This is why the tide has turned. This is why you see millions of neutral fans and even former Barcelona sympathizers switching their allegiance to Real Madrid. While Barcelona is drowning in court cases, corruption scandals, and moral bankruptcy, Real Madrid has become the bastion of meritocracy. People support Real Madrid because when Los Blancos win, they win against the odds. They win with the comebacks. They win because they are simply better. When Barcelona won, we now have to ask, did they win or they pay? The legacy of Messi, Xavi, Iniesta is now permanently stained by the actions of their board. Every tiki-taka pass is overshadowed by the question: would they have won the game if the referee hadn't been on the payroll? Real Madrid represents football. Barcelona right now represents the business of manipulation. The update from The Athletic in January 2026 is the final nail in the coffin. We aren't talking about the allegations anymore. We are talking about a systematic attempt to buy influence. The biggest robbery in football history wasn't just 90 minutes at Stamford Bridge, it was 18-year operation costing 8.4 million euros. So now I ask you, can you still call Barcelona a great club, or are they the biggest frauds the sport has ever seen? If you think Real Madrid is the true king of Europe, hit the like button. If you think Barcelona is innocent, tell me in comments and explain why they paid referee chief 8 million euros. Don't forget to subscribe. The truth hurts, but someone has to see it. Like and comment below.